Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining me today on Senior Fitness with Meredith. So today's learning level workout video that we are going to do is shoulder dysfunction, shoulder ailments, any type of pain and discomfort we have in the shoulders, possibly front of chest, upper back, entire shoulder area, rotator cuffs included. So if you have any of that, again, shoulder dysfunction, shoulder ailments, or any pain or discomfort in those shoulders, chest, upper back, this will be a wonderful learning level video for you. So we're going to sit for most of it. There are a couple things I'm going to show standing. Now remember, learning levels, you can just watch, see which ones are best for you, and then implement them into your stretches and workouts when you do them. So nice, sturdy, comfortable chair. I'm going to be using a towel to show a couple of stretches. Weights are optional. Band in place of weights you can also use. And then I have a water bottle to show very light weight, if any at all can be used, along with that stress ball. So if you want to get any of that equipment together, always have your water close by. I'll meet you right back here and we'll get started. Welcome back. We're ready to get started with our learning level workout. So again, we'll go through movements. We're not necessarily doing an exact number of repetitions. I want you to do them, see what feels best for you, and then again, implement that into your daily routine of stretches or at the end of your workout when you're doing your stretches. So we're going to start seated in our chair, and I'm just turning to the side because I want you to see my upper back a little bit. So first one, nice and tall in our chair. Remember, even during our stretches, we have to remember that good posture. Tight core, strong, straight spine. Relax the shoulders down. A lot of times, our shoulders hurt in through the neck, in through our upper back, and again, chest, because we do this all day. We get stressed, we keep them here. Release those shoulder blades down your spine. Keep them there, nice and tall in your chair. Now, bringing those arms by your side. Palms can stay facing in towards one another. All I want you to do is pull your elbows back, squeeze through your shoulder blades, holding that, squeeze, 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 and then gently release it. So that's your scapular, your upper back, retraction and depression. So you're pulling back, you're squeezing, 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 holding, breathing, and release. Let's do that again. So it's kind of a shoulder shrug to start. So almost circle them back, squeeze, 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 hold that, then release it back to the front. Let's do two more. So circle them around, release those shoulder blades down your spine. As you pull back, you squeeze them together, holding that. When you're doing this on your own, hold 5 to 10 seconds, up to 15 if possible, and release it. Let's do one more. Circle, release, pull back, hold, and release. Shake them out. Again, holding 5 to 10 seconds to start. Start with 5 repetitions, work your way up to 15, and then add time. So if you're starting at 5 seconds and you're only doing 5 repetitions, maybe go up to 10 seconds at 5 repetitions, or 10 repetitions at 5 seconds and work your way. But trying to stop around 15, that's enough. Squeezing those shoulder blades together as they're released down the spine, almost over-exaggerating that opening through the chest, and then releasing it back down. Scapular push and pull is the second one. Very similar movement. Arms are straight out. Again, first and foremost, focus on your posture and form. We're nice and tall. Relax the shoulders down, because we're pulling those shoulders up to the ears and then we're trying to pull them back. They're just not going to go where you want them to go. Release them down, nice and lifted. So scapular, again, think upper back, those shoulder blades, the scapula, are moving. So pressing those fingers like someone's pulling your fingers. Now remember, the upper body's not going forward. We're nice, tall, and stable. Pulling from those fingertips. Someone's pulling you, you're nice and tall. Now pull those shoulder blades back. Again, similar movement to what we just did. Now you're opening up, you're stretching through the chest, the pectorals. Again, we'll do that. Push them out like someone's pulling from your fingertips, but your core is super tight. You're not going forward. And then pull those shoulder blades back. Let's do two more. Get that feeling. Push, push, push. Someone's pulling those fingertips out. Now pull back, breathe with it. These stretches, don't hold your breath. Let's do one more. Pull from those fingertips, pull, pull, pull. And then pull those shoulder blades back, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And then gently release. Again, same thing. That's one where you want to go slow through the movements, taking an inhale and an exhale, holding for a couple seconds in front, pulling back, holding for a couple of seconds. Again, not rushing the movements. Feel the movements, feel the stretch, then feel the strengthening part. All right, so again, start at 5 repetitions, see how your body feels and responds, add more to it as you go. Next thing, focus is on rotator cuffs. Again, just letting you know movement that you can do for your rotator cuffs. This is where you can hold on to water bottles. You can hold on, if you have 1 or 2 stress balls, holding on to those even. You think it doesn't have any weight to it, it's not going to do anything. But just the simple fact of holding on to an item, you have to give grip strength to it. So you're working your fingers, your wrist, your forearm, all the way up the arm into that shoulder. So you're adding strength to it. So holding on to 2 stress balls, I'm going to show with the weights. You can also use that band, of course. So rotator cuffs, nice and lifted, palms are up, glue those elbows into the side of your body. All you do, slow and controlled, is open those hands, weights, forearms out to your side, then pull them back to center. Open out, pull back to center. Again, we're getting deep into the shoulders. Those are the rotator cuffs. Let's do 3 more. We'll do 2 more. Last one. And then you can just release that little shake out. That's a movement. Again, if you've had rotator cuff surgery, tears, anything, your range of motion may be very, very small. Rotator cuffs are deep in the shoulders, used to stabilize your entire shoulder. So getting deep into them is a very difficult thing to do. That's why that movement, no matter how big or little, is going to get deep into that shoulder, into those rotator cuffs. Again, good to build them up to stabilize the shoulder, very important. And also going along with that, helping to stabilize the shoulder and help with posture, because when our posture tends to do this, we start to feel those shoulders, the ailments, the dysfunction, the impingements. So we need to open up. What's a good thing to work? That upper back. So again, weights or with your band. Holding on to your weights, your chest would go forward. All you do is pull back, you squeeze those shoulder blades together again, and then gently release them down. So your back pulls. Squeeze up, exhale. Gently release. Squeeze up. Let's do 2 more. Release them down. Focus on that upper back. Squeeze, hold. Gently release. When you're doing these movements and it's part of your stretching and strengthening portion, it's outside of your workout, use lighter weights. Use the water bottles. Hold on to the stress balls. Use light weights or just do the movement. Remember, you really want to focus on your form when you do these. So that's strengthening through the upper back, helping with your posture. Now we're going to stand up, and then this is where if you have a corner you can use or a doorway, that would be the perfect thing to use. So I'm going to go over to the corner and show you a stretch. So hands would go onto that wall. You want to step back enough so you can allow your chest to release towards the walls, and you're feeling that deep opening through the shoulders and chest. And what's happening once again? Shoulder blades squeezing together. This is a good one. If you can hold that position, you have the strength, upper body, core, and lower body, to hold that. You can do this seated as well. Feeling that stretch and opening through the front body. Hold for 15 seconds. Release, come back up nice and tall. You can even release the arms if they start to get a little numb because you're holding them up. Do that a couple of times. So I'd say starting at 3 repetitions, holding for 15 seconds. Really squeeze those shoulder blades on the upper back. release them out. And again, you'd hold this longer. I'm just showing you the movement. Same thing in the doorway. You'd be holding the hands on either side of the doorway. Door is open, of course. Allow that chest to release forward. Hands stay stabilized on the wall, and then release. So same thing. So next one, using that wall. This is if you have that range of motion in your shoulders. So not there for everyone. I'm going to show you a modification next with the towel. So this one, using the wall, your hands would go onto the wall, and then you try and walk them up as far as they can go, and then release the chest forward. Again, that big opening through the shoulders. If you're tall and your hands can reach the top of a doorway and it's not too much for those shoulders, then that's perfect. But using the wall is best because you want to get that feeling. You want to kind of slide them, then walk towards it, feeling that, then all of a sudden your body will go, okay, enough. Hold it. Breathe into what you're feeling, the stretch through front of the shoulder, into the chest, the pectorals, shoulder, and upper back. Again, just like what we did in the doorway, trying to hold for 15 seconds. Start with 3 repetitions, 5 seconds if that's enough. Build up to that 15 seconds. So your modification for that would be using a towel, holding on to it, and then doing that similar movement, bringing it up as far as it would go. If that's where you're at, that's where you're at. But pull that towel apart. So we don't want it with any slack in the middle. Stretch it open, stretch, 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 and bring it as high as you can go. Eventually trying to bring it as high as your body allows, holding it again, gently releasing it down. So that's another good one to do. I'm going to put the towel down. That's your modification, or one that you can do if you want to stay seated and you don't want to go over to a wall and carry your chair with you if you're seated. So that'll go down. Next, we will do, I'm going to sit back down for this one. So that was anterior. So thinking about front of your shoulder stretching. Now, back of your shoulder and upper back. Again, one thing and then the other. I always like to say when we do workouts, we work one side of the body and then the other. So think inner thigh, outer thigh, anterior, posterior, depending on what we're doing. Adduction, abduction. So we always do these things. I like to do both because it's best to stay symmetrical and keep the body in alignment, right? So we're nice and tall again once we're seated in the chair, or you can stay standing if you choose. Just bringing the arm across the body, across the chest, so it's not at the neck choking you. It's across the body, pulling it across, either taking the other arm and pulling it, or if you want, you can manually pull the arm across if that's easier for you, if you have the grip strength to pull it across. Remember, it's not up here. It's across the chest, and you're feeling through the back of your shoulder and your upper back. Posterior. Let's focus like that. So your back, pulling it across the body, holding that again. If you can hold for 10 to 15 seconds, 3 repetitions of that, perfect. Release it in between. Do it again. Even if your shoulder only hurts on your right side, still do both sides. So that other side needs that stretch as well. So don't just do one side because you think the other one feels fine. I don't need to stretch it. Stretch it. I only hurt through the chest, so I'm only going to focus on anterior. Do posterior as well. Do both sides of the body. So important. Couple more things. So this is one I'm going to show you seated in the chair as a modification. But it would be done if you have a raised surface where you have a stretching table at your disposal, if it's in a gym, in your physical therapy office, at your home even, or you have a sturdy enough couch that you can lay on, or your bed and you feel comfortable bringing weights over towards that, then that would be a great place to do it. Or you can stay seated, and I'm going to show you that so we don't have to get on the floor for it. So I'm going to hold on to the water bottle for this one. This is a perfect exercise to do, just range of motion, to get it down first, then adding something like the stress ball, then a water bottle, then working your way up through weights. Don't get in there and start with a 10-pound dumbbell and then hurt yourself even more. Focus on form first. I'm going to hold a water bottle just to show you. So, say you'd be laying on the floor, or you can lean back in your chair. You're going to glue that elbow into the side of the body, just like we did with rotator cuff. The arm is out flat. If you had a table, you could place it onto the table. So we're going to bring that arm up. So think deep in the shoulder, internal rotation is what we're doing. So we're going to bring that hand up towards the body, and then we're going to gently release it back down. So again, say it's on a table or you're laying on the floor, it would be on the floor or on the surface that you're laying on. Internal rotation, pull it in towards your body, rotating at the shoulder, release it back down. So pull it up, release it down. Again, just do range of motion to start. Just see what that feels like. See how your body responds to it. You do one side, yes. Even though the other side may feel just fine, we're going to do the other side as well. Slow, controlled movements. So your internal rotation, now let's do external. Same thing, laying down or leaning back in your chair. Top arm, glue that elbow down into the body. Arm is across the body, we're going to bring it up. So external, pulling it away from your body, then gently release it back down. Pull it away from the body, release it back down. Again, just work on range of motion. If that's where we're at, that's where we start, and that's perfectly fine. So doing, again, start with 5 repetitions, work your way up. We do one side. Yes, we always have to do the other side. We don't just do one side of the body. Let's even it out. Let's be equal. So again, start with 5 repetitions of just range of motion. Add weight or stress ball, and then more weight as you go along. The water bottle is about 1 pound. If you have at your disposal 2 or 3 pound dumbbells, that's the way I would like to see it, especially when we're working deep in the shoulder with those rotator cuffs. You need to take it slow and add weight to it slowly, not all at once. Don't say, well, the water bottle was great, let's jump to our 8 pound dumbbell. Let's take it slow. We don't want to hurt the shoulders. We're trying to strengthen them and stretch them to make them feel better. So again, hope you enjoyed this learning level video. Go through it, try the movements, work your way up through it, see what feels best for you. Take 1 or 2 of them, add them to your next stretching routine or at the end of your workout, or maybe all of them fit you. Put them all into a wonderful stretching routine at the end of your day. I hope you enjoyed it. I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye-bye.